Have I ever in my life heard a non-black woman say that phrase? I'm waiting on God. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mel Morris. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is Wednesday. It's time for another relationship topic. Guys, this is a channel where we have real conversations and we just use common sense. I'm sorry. Any other channel you may go on that want to lie to you, but this channel, we're going to keep it real in the true sense of the word. Now, today's topic, guys, are black women the only women waiting on God for a husband? That's a question that's come to me this week, and guys, I want to share that with you. Listen, I want you to share this video with somebody. Whether you think I'm full of crap or you agree with me totally or you somewhere in between, somebody needs to hear about this video. So share this with somebody, like this video, comment. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get all my videos. Man, this is about to be a doozy. Let's talk about it. Now, I was having a conversation with a young lady on my Facebook, like I always do. I talk a lot of noise. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you may want to. It's funny, I'm telling you. I mean, I get people in my inbox all the time like, boy, you crazy. You going after all these women and all these people. That's just what I do. I just like to provoke conversations, provoke thought. Not provoke people individually, not make them mad, but make you think about what you're talking about. So there's one lady, she was talking about a bad experience. And I'm sorry I didn't get to copy and paste this or screenshot it. I was off my game this day. Since then, she has deleted the post. But she was talking about a bad experience she had about a date that went wrong, and she blamed the guy, and became a victim, as a lot of people do. And then she made the comment of, "I'm waiting on God for my husband." Now, being the guy that I am, I went inside the comment section. I started reading the post, and everybody was like, "That's right, girl. Amen. He coming, Boaz coming." So I said, let me just change the narrative of this conversation a little bit. So I said, "Why are you waiting on God?" She said, she said some mumbo jumbo. I really can't remember everything she said. It's something along the lines of, "That's what I'm supposed to do." So I went along with it for a little bit, kept conversating, but this is how the conversation ended. I went to her post, or to her page, I should say, and saw she was about 37 years old. So I asked her, I said, "Ma'am, aren't you 37? She said, "Yes." I asked her, "Have you ever been married?" She said, "No." I said, "I rest my case." And the reason I said it is, how long is you gonna be waiting on God? Basically what she was saying is the same thing black church goers and church women, I should say particular, are saying all across America and even in Africa. It's a thing that black preachers are convincing these women in church that they should wait on God for their husband. And I've said so many times on my channel why these preachers are saying this. They're saying this typically because they want to keep these women single. Why? Because they want to keep having sex with these women. I'm sorry. I ain't saying all preachers like that, but a lot of them are. They want to keep having sex with these women. They can do that with them being married, but it's a lot easier if they're not married. And they want to keep their offering going. Sorry to say, women pay offering way more than men, especially single women. So, all the single ladies, matter of fact, let's change the song up today. All the lonely ladies, put your L up, put your L up with your lonely self. I got a message for you, because you be getting lied to by the preachers and really people who misinterpreting the Bible all across the world. There's two key instances in the Bible that people keep using to convince black women that they should be waiting on that man. They should be waiting on God to send them their husband. The first instance is the story of Boaz and Ruth. If for any reason you don't know the story, there's a link in the description box with a little small video giving you a synopsis. But if you know the story, there's several things that Ruth did to find Boaz and to get married to her man. The first thing she did, she had a great mentor. Her mentor was Naomi. Naomi was her mother-in-law. Both of their husbands was dead, but she followed Naomi to this new city And they planned on living happily ever after as widows, but she had a great mentor to keep her head level-headed. She was loyal to Naomi. Ruth was 100% loyal to her. She said, wherever you go, I'm going. Wherever God you serve, I'm serving. When you move, we move. Just like that. That's just what she rolled, y'all. Ruth was Naomi's shadow. Now, I gotta ask you ladies, who was your mentor? Who are you loyal to? Cardi B? Megan Thee Stallion? Oh, maybe not even say no rappers. Let me say your grandma, your mama, your auntie, your cousin. All these long history, long lineage of single women that can't keep a man, never knew what it takes to keep a man happy. Yeah, that's your mentor. And y'all gather up on Friday nights to talk about how bad men are. Instead of looking yourself in the mirror, realizing you the common denominator. All these horrible relationships you having, it's been you. The men are not the same. It's been you. And a lot of non-married women love getting advice from other non-married women. I don't understand that. Why would you ever get advice from somebody who's not being successful in what you're looking to be successful in? That's just like me asking a broke man how to get some money. I don't understand that. And Ruth went out to get some food. Ruth went out to the field, to the harvest to get food. That means she was out doing something. That means she was active. She was out living her best life, doing what she's supposed to do to be productive. I've never seen so many women in my life, in my 33 years of living, that love promoting that they're homebodies. I know I ain't the only one that noticed that. You go up and down your timeline on Facebook, Instagram, whatever the case may be, any social media, you'll see women all day long talking about, oh, I'm a homebody. I like staying at home. I like to give me a nice glass of wine, some popcorn, and give me a Netflix movie and Netflix and chill. By myself. Not what you by myself. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with no quarantine. This has been way before quarantine. Black women been talking about being homebodies. I mean, how you expect to find somebody if you never know where? I understand going online and all this stuff, but half of y'all, every time somebody get in your DM, you get mad. Stay out my DM. Get out my inbox. I will block you. If you face call me, I will block you. How you know it's not Boaz? Most of y'all probably on block Boaz 50 times over. You know, Boaz was a guy that based on their culture, he was somebody that can marry widows and kind of restart their family. So Naomi came up with a plan with Ruth saying, this your man. We finna get you some new clothes, take these widow clothes off, and we put you on some sexy clothes. She bring her sexy back. Yep. She brought her sexy back. Now, this can be looked at two different ways. She did put on some new physical clothes. And a lot of you old, church women, not just church women, a lot of women out there, you want to, you got on the wrong clothes. Just put it like that. You don't got nothing that's on that's appealing a man that can catch a man's eye. A lot of y'all women got on the wrong clothes. Now, a lot of men, and I should say a good man, is pretty much looking for a balance. He's looking for a balance between sexy, but not too revealing. He wants that where he can say, look what I got, but you ain't got no chance to get it. That's what most men are looking for. So that's what Naomi told Ruth to do. Put you on some sexy clothes. Now, I gotta ask you ladies, what are you wearing? Not only physical clothes, but emotional clothes. Are you still wearing the same emotional baggage and emotional clothes from your previous relationships? So a lot of y'all, some of y'all are meeting new guys and messing up because you had the old smells and old clothes and guarding you, but some of you are meeting the same guy because you're the same person. You carrying over the same issues you had with the last guy to this guy. That's the issue. That's the issue of you having on the wrong clothes. But once Ruth had on those right clothes, she was ready. She may be young, but she was ready. Ready to go get her man. She was ready to go get her man. She didn't hesitate at all. She went ahead and made the move. She made the first move. I don't understand where this concept came from that women feel like they cannot make the first move. You can't go after somebody that you adore, someone that you want to have a part of your life. Now, am I saying that women should be overly aggressive, overly assertive? No. But if I could speak on behalf of men at the moment in 2020, with this whole Me Too movement and the feminist movement, all these different things that pretty much is against men and, against patriarchy overall, yes, we would love for a woman to initiate the conversation and be able to tell us that she's interested and then allow us to take the lead. So yeah, you don't want to be overly assertive, overly aggressive, but it's absolutely nothing wrong with telling a man that you're interested and allow him to show you where the relationship is going. As you know the story, Ruth went out to Boaz and he said yes. They made it happen. They got married. But one thing was missing in the story when I read it again just yesterday. One thing was missing in the story. One thing was missing from what Ruth, Boaz, and Naomi, from their conversations. And one thing was missing from the commentator's speech. They didn't mention God one time. It wasn't no whole, oh God, you brought this man to me. Oh Lord, Heavenly Father, we thank you for all. It wasn't none of that stuff. So it got me to thinking. God has little to do with the choices we make in a spouse. Tell me this, for anybody who think that God chooses your spouse, why would a God that doesn't even make us choose him choose our spouse for us? It's too much error, too much room for error in that situation. Basically, all we're going to do is blame God whenever the inevitable happens, which is horrible times in our relationship, bad times in the relationship. We can go straight up blame God and say, if it wasn't for the woman that you gave me, I'll be all right. So that's the first instance, the Boaz and Ruth story. That's the first instance in the Bible that people normally misinterpret and misdirect people to. But the other is Proverbs 18:22, where it says, when a man found a wife, he finds a good thing and found favor upon the Lord. Now this is straight bullcrap, the way we misinterpret this. First of all, where in the word does it say only men can find a wife? Only men should go after a woman. It doesn't say that. It says when a man finds a wife, he finds favor. That means, and this is a proverb. This is not a rule. So a proverb is basically saying it's a general piece of advice. It's a general statement about what normally can happen, what normally would happen, but it's not a rule. It's not the rule. And it's definitely not saying it's the only way that a transaction should happen, a man finding a wife. But this has been bled through the black community, has been written in stone in the black community, and it's dead wrong. It can't get no wronger. So from all that, guys, the story after story I've heard from black women, those two instances, and the time I've had in church that really has annoyed me in black churches, hearing them talking about relationships in the wrong way, it got me to thinking. Have I ever in my life heard a non-black woman say that phrase, I'm waiting on God? I never have. I couldn't think of that. So I had to do this little social experiment. I had to reach out to several non-black women that I know and ask them straight up, have they ever said this phrase? Let's see how that went. All right, so these are all non-black women, and I asked them pretty much all the same question. All these ladies are pretty much either married, engaged, in a long-term relationship. I mean, they all are great prospects, even if they were single. So I think I got some good perspective here. So this first lady, I asked her, have you or anyone you know ever used the term, I'm waiting on God, regarding currently not being married? And she said, I'm engaged, work with him, and it's against policy, so that's the only reason she don't post him. But she said she never said that herself. I think God helped those who help themselves. You have to move towards bettering yourself, and a good man will appreciate that and come. I don't remember ever praying for a good man. I pray for strength to be a good woman. I feel like that's taking responsibility off the individual. Now, we can stop the video here if we wanted to. I mean, that was a perfect answer. I don't know about y'all, but that was amazing. Standing ovation. To the same question, this lady says, nope. Thumbs down. Then I follow up and ask her, do you believe in traditional roles regarding a man approaching a woman first, or is it okay for a woman to approach a guy that they are interested in? She said, nope, a man should approach a woman. The next one here, to the same question, she said, oh, absolutely, both. So I follow up and ask, would you say that's based on biblical principles or what? So she says, yeah, it's just referring to trusting the Lord and trusting his timing, surrendering my wants and desires to his ultimate will, whatever that may be. At least that's what I mean. It's not really an excuse to just accept what you want to drop in your lap, but I trust that God has my best interests at heart, and I trust him more than myself or anyone else. But that doesn't keep me from pursuing it. Aha! I am currently in a relationship and we have been together for 4 years. I want to be married, but I also want to succeed. I'm not going to wait forever, but I'm also not going to manipulate my circumstances to get what I want. So, in essence, I'm waiting on the Lord and trusting his time. See, I love what she says here. She says actually, she's trusting in God and believing, but also putting action, using the concept of faith without works is dead. But honestly, it sounds like it's a guy there that needs to pull that trigger, homie. Pull that trigger. Get married. I said that makes total sense, and I had to follow up. I said, would you say that's a mindset that you have towards every area of your life, not necessarily specific to your dating life? And she says, oh yes, absolutely. So then I asked her the same question I asked someone else. Do you believe in traditional roles regarding man approaching a woman? Or should a woman approach? Or can a woman approach? She said, I'm pretty traditional. However, I'm not against other girls doing whatever floats their boat. I don't think it's cute, but you do you. I personally want a man who is man enough to pursue me from the very beginning. I'm a strong personality, so yeah. The next one here, the lady says to the same original question, not me, but I'm sure I know people who have. The phrase is very familiar to Bible college students. I have to agree. That's something you learn in Bible school as well. It's not great. And I followed up with her as well about women approaching. She says, I have a preference for being approached first, but I think it's totally fine for women to approach men. We have turned traditional roles on their head in our house. Nothing wrong with that. For this lady here, she answered the first question with a firm no. And the second question about women approaching, she said, either way, it's fine with me as long as it is done appropriately and respectfully. To the next lady, to the first question, she says, not that I can recall. And then she continues, says, as it relates to the first question, to be fair, most of my friends have been married or guys. I personally prefer the guy approaching for me, but don't have strong belief in right or wrong way for it to go. I've honestly never given it a whole lot of thought. She continues, says, I may be atypical in that I don't have super strong opinions on roles. That may be because it's never been something I've had to think much about or about much. And the last lady here, she answered the first question by saying, no. And I asked her, was she okay with approaching men? She said, I'm okay with approaching the guy. Guys, I don't know what y'all think, but these non-black women are winning. I'm sorry. I don't mean to put it that way, but the proof is in the pudding.
So in conclusion, black women, you wasting your time. This lady's 37 years old that we started talking about earlier.
I don't know about y'all, but she's getting closer and closer to not be able to have kids. And I know if it's a man who, like me, don't have any kids, they were to get with her, he would want to have kids. So why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting precious moments when there may be somebody that is ready? Just take the leap of faith, take the opportunity. The worst thing somebody can say is no. What's that gonna hurt? There's so many other people out there. But the last thing you want to do is to waste your life away based on misinterpreting a principle, a proverb in a story in the Bible. I'm just here to give my little simple advice. There are several reasons why black women are the least married group of women in America. And this again is one of those. There's so many other reasons, but this is definitely one of them. I'm just here to help. Again, whether you disagree, agree, or somewhere in the middle, share this with somebody. Comment, hit that like button. But I just got one goal and one hope for us all. Let's grow. Peace.